Hello my dear students, I hope you people are fine. So in this video, let us begin with a new chapter, that is Internet and Open Source Concepts. So the total weightage given for this chapter is 4 marks. One question is of 1 mark and one more question is of 3 marks. So total 4 marks. So let us begin with the chapter. Here the open source, okay, the open source means it is a kind of a software whose license do not impose much condition on when you download that software. Say for an example, when you open the Play Store app on your mobile phone, okay, you can see the certain list of softwares. In that, some software will be free downloadable and some will be based upon the fee based, isn't it? So this open source software which doesn't impose any kind of restrictions or condition while downloading that particular software. These softwares might be the freely available for the users, including its source code. Source code is nothing but it's the actual program written by the programmers by using certain programming language. It is the main code. So as in when you download the software, at the same time the main code or the source code also will get downloaded along with it. Okay, so such softwares are usually called it as open source software. So this open source software can be used freely, it can be modified without any permissions, and it can be redistributed these copies freely to the public. Okay, this open source software, it is actually referred to those categories of the software or the programs whose license do not impose any kind of conditions whenever you are downloading that software from the Play Store or any other means. Okay, so usually this open source software, it gives the users for the freedom in order to run the software or use the software, maybe for any purpose it might be, and to modify the program, and after you modify it, it even allows the users to redistribute the copies of the original or the modified program. Now I'll give you an example so that you can clearly understand what is the open source software. See, these are certain examples for the open source software. Open source software means they are already freely available in the Play Store. So on downloading such kinds of software, it allows the users to download freely, and after downloading it also come along with the source code or the main code. Okay, when the source code or the main code for the users it is available, if the user is a developer, he can make the modifications in that source code and he can redistribute the same copy to the others so that certain public or the community can get benefit out of it. Okay, these open source software are available in terms of operating system, programming language, or some other kind of browsers also. Now here the first open source software is a Linux. Linux is an operating system which is an open source. That means when you try to download the Linux operating system onto your computer or the laptop, it is freely downloadable along with source code, so that if any modifications are being needed, then it can be performed by the developer. Similarly, we have second example, that is Apache. Apache is a freely web server it is. Like how we have the Google as a server, same way the Apache is also an server that is freely available, that helps the users to freely surf or browse the website. Okay, then Perl, Python, PHP, these are the programming languages which are freely available along with their source code, so that when the users after downloading, they can make the changes in the source code and then they can redistribute. MySQL is a database. Okay, and then Mozilla Firefox, it's a browser, right? When you download the Mozilla Firefox in your computer system in order to browse, so it will come along with the source code. So one user can have the knowledge how the backend programming will be. One can study that program, how it works. Okay, and he can make a modification. So we most extensively Chrome is being used rather than Mozilla, because Mozilla is comparatively it is slow. Okay, comparatively it is slow, and search engine is not that good, right? So if the user is a developer, then he can make the modifications in the source code, and he may redistribute, he may relaunch this Mozilla Firefox. That is why most of the browsers, you may, other different kinds of browsers, you may see this kind of icons in the browsers. That is, they are all the versions of Mozilla Firefox. Maybe some other developers have downloaded it, remodified and redistributed. And Eclipse is nothing but it's a Java based platform that allows for the Java coding. So these are all the examples for the open source software. Understood? So this open source software, it actually gives the users the freedom to run the software, to use the software for, it might be for any purpose, okay, and to study and to modify, and after that it also allows the users to redistribute the copies of the original or the modified ones. Okay, I hope you are understanding what is open source software. Moving on to the next, that is the free software. Now what is this free software? Free software is actually freely accessible, that can be freely used. That means it can be changed, it can be improved, the software can be changed, it can be improved by making modifications in the source code, it can be copied, right? So, and it can be distributed also. Distributed in the sense that you can share the software. So if maybe for example, if I have a share it in your mobile phone, maybe you in your mobile phone you have certain software that in your friend's mobile it doesn't have. So instead of downloading your friend, instead of downloading that software again from the Play Store, you can directly share it. You can directly share that software through the Share It app. So free software is nothing but which is freely available to the user, okay, that can be changed, improved, okay, copied and can be distributed. But make sure that there is no payments have been needed for the users in order to use these free softwares. Okay, now let me tell you, there are 4 different kinds of the freedom that are being provided for the user in order to use this free software. What are these 4 different freedoms that are provided? The first one freedom is, it allows the users to run the program for any purpose. For maybe example, if at all, if you want to edit any photo, okay, edit any photo, you may go for Adobe Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop is not at all the free one. Once if you install that particular software, it will ask you the license key, or it will ask you to make the payment. There are certain different other software that is helping you to freely edit. So if at all, if any such softwares are there, that will freely get installed on your computer, and it will allow the users to run the program. Means it will allow you to edit the photo in that particular software. Then it also gives the freedom to study how the program works and adapt it to your needs. That means what? Once the source code has been done, along with the software, once the source code has been downloaded, then you will be able to know how the program works actually, what is the programming language they have used, how the coding has to be done. You gain certain knowledge from it, so that it will be helpful for you to, maybe you can develop some other software, or you can make any modifications in that particular software. But make sure that you need to get an access to the source code. That okay. Then the next freedom it provides is, it allows the users to redistribute the copies so that you can help the neighbor. Think that Mozilla Firefox only, we will take one as an example. Mozilla Firefox, the new software you have installed in your computer system, which will come along with the software. Which will come along with the source code. So once you open that source code file, that is a program, nothing but it is the program behind your Firefox. That's a browser, right? When you open that source code, you look at what programming language they have used, how they have written the code. You gain certain knowledge, isn't it? Same thing, you can even make the modifications in it. After modification, you can redistribute the modified copy to your friend, so that his browsing will be very fast comparatively to the previous, when he installs your remodified browser in his computer system. Understood? That is what it provides, a freedom to redistribute the copies so that you can help your neighbor. Then it also provides the freedom to improve the program and release your improvements to the public. That's what I said. You can you can download the Mozilla Firefox, implement your ideas into that source code, make the improvement and release it to the public so that the entire community can get benefit out of it. Okay, but make sure that source code is a access to the source code is a precondition. That means you have to have an access to the source code, that is the main program. So this was all about the free software and the open source concept. Okay, let us move on to our next topic, that is the open source software. Open source software, I have given you one example that whenever you download the Mozilla Firefox browser software, it will also allow you to download the source code. Source code is nothing but the main code or the actual code written by the developer of that particular Mozilla browser. Okay, so in case of this open source software, that allows you to download that source code also along with the software, which made the customers to modify it. They can use it for their study purpose and they can also redistribute it without having any restrictions or the limitation. Whenever they want to redistribute, for the open source software, they have to follow certain criteria. Okay, that redistribution software has to follow certain criteria at the time of at the time of distribution of that software. What are those criteria is free redistribution, source code, derived works, no discrimination against the persons and the groups, no discrimination against the fields. Okay, distribution of license, it has to follow. License must be a specific to a product. License shouldn't restrict any other software, and license should be a technological neutral. All these criteria it should follow whenever you are redistributing your software or making your software available to the public. Now so moving on to the first one, that is a free redistribution. Free redistribution in the sense, think that in the source code what you have been downloaded from the Mozilla Firefox, you made certain changes into that, you have done certain modifications into that. Maybe by taking some other coding, some other programs, you have taken your own coding and you have merged and clubbed into that original source code of the Mozilla Firefox. Okay, and now you want to distribute it to the public. That means you want to make that software available to the public. In that case, no license shall restrict you, or no any third party can restrict you from selling or giving away that software as a component of an aggregate software distribution. What is this aggregate software distribution? Is nothing but your code, modified code, may contain the actual code plus the extra programs from the several different source. You can merge it and clubbed it. Such kinds of software you can sell it, so that no license or no third party can stop you from selling or giving away that software. Okay, so at the time of selling, the license shall not require any kind of royalty, or it cannot require any kind of fees or the payment for any such kind of the sale. The simple meaning of it, whenever the modified software you want to sell it to the any persons, the license nor the any kind of third party person can stop you from selling that product or making that product available to the public. No matter your source code may consist of the actual code, or you might have taken some other programming techniques and clubbed into your main source code. Okay, so this is all about the free redistribution. Then next is the source code. How exactly the source code should be there whenever you have downloaded from the Mozilla Firefox. So when you have downloaded the Mozilla Firefox, along with that source code will be there. So how that source code should be there for the users? The program must include the source code, and it should allow the distribution in the source code as well as the compile form. See, when you have downloaded the source code, it should be completely error free. That is means it should be the completely and bug free, or the error free means the compiled one. And it should be allow the users to make the modifications. So whenever you download the source code, it should not be a write protected ones. If it is a write protected ones, means you cannot make any modification. So whenever you download the source code from the Mozilla software, the source code should be, first thing is, it should be completely error free. That means it should be a compiled one. It should allow you to make the modifications into it, and it should deliberately, it should not contain any kind of obfuscated source code. Obfuscated source code means the source code should be in a human understandable form. It should not contain any code that cannot be understandable by the user. Okay, it should be completely understandable form. Okay, then, and it should allow the distribution of that particular source code, and that source code should never contain any kind of output of a preprocessor, or the translators are not allowed. That means it should not contain any intermediate results, or half processed output. That kind of output, that source code, it should not contain. It should contain merely only the complete, purely compiled form of the source code. One example I'll give you. Whenever I'll be sending the notes to you, that is nothing but think that it's a kind of a program. Instead of notes, it's a thing that it's a kind of a program. When I send that kind of a notes or the programs to you, it should be, firstly, what you will see for that, it should be a compiled form. It means there should be no any error. Okay, and if you want to add any extra information, it should allow for you to make the modification. And it should also be in the form of distribution. That means you can also share the same program or the notes which I have sent. You can even share to your friends also. And most importantly, it should be in an understandable form, which I have to use the language which can be understood by you people, isn't it? That is the meaning of obfuscated. That means deliberately obfuscated source code shouldn't be contained in the that particular program. That means it should not contain any such kind of the programming language which cannot be understood by the user. I hope you are understanding. And that program or something, it should not contain any kind of intermediate output results of the translator and all. It should be purely, completely only the logic of that particular program it should contain. So such a kind, the source code should be there whenever you download the source code from the any of the software, that is the open source software. Moving on to the next criteria, that is the derived works. And just an example I'll quote here in understanding how the derived works work. So here, whenever you are trying to download any software, a small dialog box would appear, that is an agreement dialog box, in which certain rules of agreements they would be listed, and it is having two options. One is as yes I accept, and one more option would be ignore. If you click on yes I accept, then you are accepting for those rules. That means that is a license. Actually, it's a license which are being listed. Okay, you would accept for that license, and then if you click on the option as I accept, then the software will get easily installed on your computer system. If you click on the ignore option, it means that you're not accepting their license. You're not accepting their license of that particular software, and hence it will not that particular software will not get downloaded on your system. Same way here, under the derived works, the license which is there for that particular software will allow the user to make the modification and derived works, and it allows the user to even distribute. At the time of distribution, it makes sure that, okay, the distribution in the sense it is making the software available to the public. At the time of distribution, it will make sure that your software should have the same term as the license of the original software that you have downloaded from your software. See, you have downloaded a software, maybe Mozilla only, I'll take a browser. Whenever you have downloaded the software Mozilla Firefox, a new source code has been downloaded along with that. You make the modification. At the time of downloading, the dialog box will appear and you'll say as I accept, then according you are abiding by that license, and hence it will easily get downloaded into your system. Okay, so after that, if you make any changes in the source code or the modification, if you add your code into that, and you want to make that, you want to launch that new web browser to the public. In that case, your new web browser, whatever you have designed, it should also contain the same terms as the license of that original software what it is containing. I hope the derived works criteria is clear for you. Students, I hope the concepts are clear to you. What is open source software? What is free software? What are the freedom given for the user to use the free software? What are the criterias like free redistribution, source code and derived works in order to distribute your software over the internet? So next criteria we are going to discuss in our next video. Take care of your health. Be safe. Thank you.